From fragile biplanes to sleek, high-speed fighters, Italy entered World War II with an air force built for speed. The air war was not won by one aircraft. It was won by roles, fighters, bombers, and the machines that kept the war moving. Fiat CR-32. The Fiat CR-30 was a biplane fighter that defined Italian air power in the years leading up to World War II. Highly maneuverable, rugged, and easy to maintain, it performed extremely well in earlier conflicts. By the time World War II began, however, the CR-32 was already obsolete. Despite this, it remained in service due to shortages of modern aircraft, fighting in secondary roles where agility still mattered. Fiat CR-42 Falco. The Fiat CR-42 was one of the last biplane fighters to see large-scale combat in World War II. It was extremely agile and reliable, and many Italian pilots trusted it. But against modern monoplane fighters, speed and firepower were lacking. Macchi C-200 Setta. The Macchi C-200 represented Italy's transition to modern monoplane fighters. It was strong, agile, and capable of absorbing heavy battle damage. However, its early versions were lightly armed, limiting effectiveness in air combat. Pilots praised its handling and survivability, especially in harsh conditions. Macchi C-202 Folgore. The Macchi C-202 is widely regarded as Italy's finest fighter of the war. Powered by a German-designed engine, it combined excellent speed, climb rate, and maneuverability. In skilled hands, it could challenge Allied fighters on nearly equal terms. Its main weakness remained limited firepower. Macchi C-205 Veltro. The Macchi C-205 was the final evolution of Italy's fighter development. Faster, better armed, and more capable than its predecessors, it finally matched Allied aircraft in performance. Unfortunately, it entered service too late and in very small numbers. Its potential was never fully realized. Reggiane Re 2000. The Reggiane Re 2000 was a fast and modern fighter with excellent maneuverability. Despite strong performance, structural concerns and limited range restricted its use. Production numbers remained low, preventing widespread deployment. Reggiane Re 2001. The Re 2001 improved upon the earlier design with better structure and versatility. It served as a fighter-bomber, and even in naval strike roles. Its adaptability made it valuable, but production limitations remained a major issue. Reggiane Re 2002. The Re 2002 was optimized for ground attack missions. Heavily built and capable of carrying bombs, it proved effective in close air support. It became one of Italy's more reliable late-war strike aircraft. Reggiane Re 2005. Sagittario. The Re 2005 was among the most advanced Italian fighters of the war. Fast, agile, and heavily armed, it rivaled the best Allied designs. As with many late-war aircraft, it arrived too late and in insufficient numbers. Savoia-Marchetti, SM-79 Sparviero. The SM-79 became Italy's most famous bomber. Originally designed as a fast transport aircraft, it evolved into a deadly torpedo bomber. Its speed and durability made it highly effective in naval warfare, particularly in the Mediterranean. Savoia-Marchetti SM-81. The SM-81 was an older bomber design heavily used during the early war years. Slow and lightly defended, it was vulnerable to enemy fighters. It remained in service primarily due to a lack of modern replacements. Kant Z-1007 ALS C. The Kant Z-1007 was a modern medium bomber constructed largely of wood. It offered good speed and range and proved surprisingly durable. The aircraft served in bombing, reconnaissance, and maritime patrol roles. Fiat BR-20 Cicogna. The Fiat BR-20 was Italy's first all-metal bomber. Initially advanced, it saw combat across Europe and the Mediterranean. As enemy defenses improved, its effectiveness steadily declined. WWII 65. The WWII 65 was a dedicated ground attack aircraft. Heavily armed and armored, it was intended for close air support. However, poor performance and difficult handling limited its operational success. Caproni Savoia 33. The Caproni Kia 133 was a rugged transport aircraft designed for harsh conditions. It operated from rough airstrips and carried troops, supplies, and equipment. Its reliability made it valuable in Africa and remote theaters. Savoia-Marchetti SM-82. The SM-82 was Italy's primary heavy transport aircraft. It carried cargo, vehicles, and even dismantled aircraft. When required, it also served as a long-range bomber. Cant Z506. Iran. The Cant Z506 was a floatplane used for maritime patrol and rescue missions. Fast and long-ranged, it became one of Italy's most effective seaplanes of the war. Imam Ro-43. The Ro-43 was a ship-launched reconnaissance floatplane. Operating from cruisers and battleships, it scouted ahead of fleets and assisted naval gunfire. Limited performance restricted its effectiveness. Caproni C-314. The Sukhoi 314 served as a light bomber and reconnaissance aircraft. While adaptable, it was underpowered and mainly used in secondary roles. Caproni C-331. The Ka-31 was designed as a high-speed reconnaissance aircraft. Only limited numbers were produced before Italy exited the war, preventing full operational use. WWII 88 Linz. The WWII 88 appeared impressive during testing. In combat conditions, additional equipment severely reduced its performance. It became one of Italy's most notable design failures. Italy's Air Force reflected both innovation and limitation. Italian designers produced elegant, agile aircraft, often with excellent handling. But shortages of engines, fuel, and industrial capacity limited their impact. Italy did not lose the air war due to lack of pilot skill. It lost because it could not modernize fast enough, produce aircraft in sufficient numbers, or sustain prolonged combat. From biplanes to advanced late-war fighters, Italian aircraft fought across Europe, Africa, and the Mediterranean. They remain some of the most distinctive and visually striking aircraft of World War II. This was the complete story of Italian aircraft used in World War II. If you had to choose one Italian aircraft that truly defined the war, which would it be? The elegant Macchi fighters, the deadly SM-79 torpedo bomber, or the advanced Reggiane designs?